Hi guys, it's Blackie. Okay, this is one of them announcements that's been a long time coming. Over my 40 plus years of being out in the woods doing camping, living history, bushcraft, woodscraft, all of the above, the sack, the haversack that we've talked about many times, has always been an integral part of it. I mean, that's what I think about as kit when I'm going to be going out in the woods. Is grab your haversack, grab your hat, grab your gun, and you go out. Now, and your knife, of course. I have carried many things over the years. I carried, in the beginning, was a U.S. Army butt pack with a strap. That got streamlined down to just a M14 ammo pouch with a strap. And those that have followed my channel for 10 years, remember that's what I had in the beginning. That's what I was using for a haversack. And what it was just an overglorified fire kit. The other parts of the 10 C's, as we call it today, I carried around my body in some way. Shelter might be in a backpack or in something else, or in a Civil War type blanket roll or whatever. But my taste and choices have changed over the years. And for the last several years, I've done quite a few videos on the haversack and what I carry in it and etc. But in all that time, there was always a compromise. Every time I would come up with a bag, I want to try that bag, and it wasn't quite, so I'd want to try this bag. Just like you, I try out gear. And a couple of years ago, I found, I'm doing an online search, I found an old 1870s cavalry haversack, actually a clothing bag. And I liked the idea, and it had this big flap on it. And I talked about putting a whoopee in that flap. And to me, that's a knapsack. And that's what I've got that now for, is a knapsack. But I contacted the manufacturer and I got the bag. I liked the design, but I didn't care for the materials. This was made for reenactors, and it was cheaply made overseas. So I contacted Jason Hunt at Campcraft, and he made up that bag. And that haversack today is called the Woodsman, and you can still find it on his sites. And I like it, but it wasn't quite dialed in like I wanted. That is a not a rucksack, a knapsack to me. And I'm planning on camping. That's what that bag is. It's like a haversack on steroids. And so with conversations with Dan Lutz and with several others, the question kept coming up, and me and Bear talked back. You remember earlier in the spring we talked about what is in a haversack. And I think it was Bear was the one that threw the question to me of, well, what is your haversack idea? And it's kind of like, there ain't one, because each one is good, but it ain't got, I wanted whatever. And so you have one of them moments. And so I designed a haversack. Designed around my 40 years experience and what I wanted to have in a bag. I wanted it simple, but I wanted it to have as many features as I could get to give me the best opportunity in the field. Most adaptable, most flexible in the field due to changing conditions and what I may want to change in, change out, add, etc. And so I contacted Jason Hunt at Campcraft, and I said, I've got a haversack design. Would you be willing to manufacture it? And so we worked out a deal where we're going to do a limited run of 50 of these bags. Okay? Now, what's the bag? This is the bag. This is the Blackbird haversack designed by me. Now you'll notice when you look at this, you're going to see elements from other bags incorporated in it, and some new design features. First of all, it has a nice big roomy flap. And like you've seen in my earlier ones, I put a zipper into it. Had them put a zipper. This flap is now a pocket. And that allows me that when I carry it, that weight sits right there and helps hold it down. But when I bring it to the front and I flip it open like this, now when I unzip it, my material ain't gonna fall out. It's right here. I can find what I need to get, and then I can just grab that strap, close it back up, and flip it and put it back. So that keeps my stuff. I can put small things in there like my compass, my fire kit, my lighter, my glasses, my whatever, and I've got it quick and easy right there. I know where it is. Yet it's out of the way so that when I lift up, I can go right into my haversack. Now this haversack is sewn a little higher than the average and a little tighter than the average. I want that so when the flap folds, it actually kinks the top of the bag. If the flap wasn't here, but this weight was, this section, this 1 inch, folds over. Less things are going to fall out. So when the bag does get tipped sideways, instead of it being just a straight tube, it's kinked at the end. And this top compartment holds it down. That's got a complete shelter system in it right now. That's a sil nylon tarp, stakes, and everything for that to be set up as rain gear or as emergency shelter right now. Flexible, soft, don't weigh nothing. Okay? Next, the main compartment. Most of the haversacks that I've encountered are either too small or way too big. I wanted one that was kind of narrow but deep. And that's why I like this. Now I've got plenty of room to put my gear. Now all my 10Cs are in here right now. I've got a full hammock in here. I've got a full fire kit. I've got an extra knife in here. I've got all of my 10Cs in here right now and ready to go. Now, the buckle system that is used for securing it. Notice how those buckles, I wanted them right there on the edge for that reason. I simply take a toggle and hook it to some piece of gear, like my fire steel, or I hook it to my knife, my saw, whatever. I can put it on the lanyard, I can drop it into the bag. All I gotta do is grab that lanyard and pull it out. So this will keep it out of the way, but it's on the back edge. So when I open up the bag and I go up here in the front to dig around, I'm not constantly fighting it. It's on the back away from me. This bag is set up for right-handed. Okay, I actually carry a lot left-handed, but most people are right, so I set this bag up that way. So all I gotta do is grab a hold of that toggle and pull out, and there's my fire steel. It'd be easy to one hand loosen it, get out here and use it, hook it back around them loops, drop it back in the bag. We're done. Now it's wax canvas, so you know that's good. That's gonna handle a little bit of rain, a little bit of mud, a little bit of dirt, etc. I could probably carry water in this thing, and it could, as an emergency, carry water back to a campsite by scooping it up and holding it. You know, simple and easy. Now, on the back side, here's my other little innovation. I had them put a strip across here of webbing that has 2 pass-throughs on it, just like that. So it's sewed, space, sewed, space. What that does is this allows me a place where I can secure a bedroll or something to this. Something light, like a poncho liner, or some other small tarp or whatever that I'm carrying for a given need for that day. I don't want to tie it across the top of the flap, it would be in the way. But I can tie it underneath the bag, right here. And it's set up in such a situation, it's going to hold it to the back, but on the bottom. So it's not going to be swinging and slopping, it's going to stay right here underneath me. So a small extra gear bag, an extra something that I need to deploy quickly, I can put under there with just a pair of Canadian jam knots, and therefore I'll have it quick and handy right there. That would turn this quickly into a light knapsack. Now the strap has also got a unique feature. We'll get to that in 1 second. The strap is a sewed piece of canvas. The front edge up here is intentionally sewed off. It's not straight up and down. It's sewed at an angle. Why'd you do that, Blackie? I asked for that because when you put a haversack on and you have that front one angling at an angle, see how it lays, it kind of curves around the body? When it's straight up and down, the front of the haversack does that and sticks out. And you hang stuff on that all the time. You seem to hang that. Like this, it wants to curve around the body. I'm changing the direction like a guy line on a tarp. Instead of being this way, I'm this way. And that's shifting the load to the front. So when I grab it, swing it around behind me, it lays right there on the body. It doesn't stick out and hang things. Less trouble when I'm going through the bushes and doing this and crawling through, which is a big thing down here in my neck of the woods, how thick it is down here. But even more so with that, I wanted the twin D-buckles up here. Because you see how I've done this? Now that strap comes off. Now here's another use for this bag. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera down a little bit to show you this. I can take all my contents out of the bag. I can flip the pocket to the inside. I then take it and like put it on my left hip where I would want it. I bring the strap around from this side, and I'm going to go through those buckles as a belt, just like this. Now I'll center it up in the position I want. Hip, pull it tight, just like that. And it's brand new, so guys, so this canvas is a little fidgety. Pull it, there we go. Pull it to where I want that buckle. Pull her up tight. Now she hangs on that. Now you remember that loop back there? I can tie a leg strap to that, and I can put it on my leg. So now I've got a gathering pouch. So I'm gathering up a bunch of material, and I've got a leg pouch to stuff my stuff in. So I can gather and stuff, gather and stuff. And when I bend down, because it's going to be hooked to my leg, it does not fall forward. See? So now it's a gathering pouch, as well as being just simply a haversack. And all I got to do is stick my thumb there and break those two D-rings apart, and off comes the strap. Now, but we're not done yet. By taking it, coming up here to the buckle, I'm going to go through the buckle, through both of them, pull the strap to about where I want it. I'm going to separate the buckles. I'm going to take the free piece, I'm going to double it in half and put that top half back through, so that the two halves lay flat just like that. Now pull, and it's anchored. Now it hangs like I want, but I've got a quick release. I can grab and it comes off. So I can get this off in a hurry if I'm tangled up or bound up. I have a yank quick release. It means I can go around a tree real quick and anchor it too. I just run it around the tree, the strap is generous enough, and hook it back. And I've got that set up. But wait, there's more. There's one more little feature of this, and I'll show you what that is right now. Okay, now the big feature. This is something I thought about and thought about and thought about forever. Okay? With this bag having a canvas tube strap, that strap is a storage area as well for short stuff. I can drop a file down in this tube. Okay? It's open on the end, just like that. So I can stick a file down in there and just slide it down. Something that's not going to cause problems, but I can drop it down there and have it on me if I need it. Now, what's the ultimate of this? Bucksaw blade. All we need to carry is the bucksaw and a couple of attachment parts to make a bucksaw and feel right. But how do you tote that blade? Well, you take and run masking tape on either side of it, just so those teeth aren't there. And you put it in that tube right there, and you slide it down. Now what you do is you grab down here at the bottom and you push up, like that. And it'll just slide in. Get it out the same way. You inchworm it down there. Just grab, scoot it a little bit at a time. Now, would I want to leave it in there forever? No. You're sweating and everything, probably rusted. But I'm going out today and we're going to be building this, and I want a bucksaw. I'm going to build me a bucksaw. Here you go. Tote the blade. I want to carry a file because we're going to be doing axe work. I'm going to be carrying this other small piece of gear that's small and long, and I don't want to lose it. And what I do with it? Well, this is what you do with it. Now all I'm doing is just scoot my hand down, scoot down, lift up, scoot down, lift up, push the blade down, scoot up. That's how I take it in and out. Don't just drop in. Now it's all the way to the bottom. Now I come around here the other end. I put my belt through, go down to my mark, come up, double it in half, Stick it back in position. There's that blade. There's that blade. It'll curve right around you, all the way from the bag to there. It's flexible, remember, it's spring steel. The top of it's laying flat right there. I am 5'10", 185 pounds, and you wouldn't even know that haversack, that blade is in there right now. So I can carry it to the field. I can build my buck saw at my camp. I can do my processing. When I'm done, I retrieve my components, I put it back in here, and I take it out. Simple, right? Now somebody's going to come up with a sleeve for it that you'll just slide it into. A silk sleeve would be fantastic. Since this is waxed canvas, it's going to keep water off of it. But all I got to do is wiggle and scoot, wiggle and scoot. I put the teeth going toward the sewed seam. Okay? It's not actually touching. See, there's enough room to bow that over. So those teeth are protected by that piece of tape, and I'm not going to be sawing it back and forth. Like this part of the strap don't move. Up here at the V, nothing to it. So there is a basic idea of the Blackbird haversack. That's why I wanted to bring this product to market, because this is my 40 years worth of experience of toting a haversack. I wanted a bag that was rugged. I wanted a bag that was roomy enough but not too big. I wanted to give me as many possible options as I could in one feature, and this does that. Now, picking it on and off, notice it don't hurt nothing. There's the blade. Take my quick deploy off, and now I sit there and reverse what I just did. I drop it down, and I go to wiggling. Scoot, wiggle, and it'll just start working its way out of that bag, that tube. I'm going to show you one other feature of this before we're done. Okay guys, I need to clear up something at the end of this video. I've talked to Jason, as I said, and I have created the Blackbird haversack. Now, we only have the prototype right now. Before I go in and make the investment in having these made up, I need to know that there's a market. So the price will be $75, and that will include shipping if you're inside the continental United States. And I need to know if there's going to be 50 people willing to buy it. So, in the comments below, in all caps, type in, "I want one." Okay? And I'll count that up. That'll give me something that I can show to Jason to say that there is a market for these 50 bags. He will then start manufacturing the bags, and I will set up a PayPal where we can get your information, lock you in, and get the 50 bags shipped out. Turnaround time will be 4 weeks or less. You know, 4 to 6 on that side, but I figure 4 weeks. As long as I can prove to him we've got it, he'll go ahead and start making them. So, if you'll comment in the link below, in your comment section below in this video, put in "I want one," and I will have, once we get 50 of those, I'll go to him and we'll get it started, and I'll make the announcement. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, now get the end. There it is. The tape ain't damaged. The teeth ain't damaged. How hard that would carry tape anyway? All I gotta do is take a little extra piece of tape, like a double layer on that, and that's just double layer of plain old masking tape. I go to take it off, pull it off real clean and easy. I utilize it, and I put it back on the blade, and I put it back up. Simple, right? Okay, the final feature is this. I wanted that strap nice and long. Okay? I'm gonna guesstimate here. I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna come through my buckle, say about right there, separate my buckles, kink it back over, double for a quick detach, put it through there. Now, turning the bag facing away from me, I'm going to put my neck into it, put one arm through it, the other arm through it, grab the bag, put it up and over the top. Now remember them 2 loops hanging on the bottom down there? I could have a bedroll right there. All I got to do now is right here put me a piece of paracord to hook these together, and I've got a knapsack. So it's a haversack, it's an improvised browse bag, it's an improvised foraging bag, it is a shelter carrier, it is a water carrier, it carries a saw, it becomes a belt bag, it becomes a shoulder bag, it becomes a plain old haversack, all in one bag. That is what I came up with after 40 years. And I just locked my sleeve. Them big old sleeves hooked it. Okay. So, with just that simple strip right there, I can also put a piece of gear up there and tie it. I could put a short hatchet crossways, tie it with 2 quick loops to hang underneath out of the way. All of that in a bag. Now, I have, like I mentioned earlier, I have talked extensively with Jason Hunt at Campcraft. He's going to be building these for me. Not knowing if there's going to be a market, we have agreed to do a 50 bags to begin with. The price I'm going to be charging is going to be $75 for this bag. That pays for me to get the bag made and me be able to ship the bag to you. So that if you're in the continental United States, that's going to include shipping. So $75 for that bag. I'm not going to make a whole lot on this, guys. I'm not trying to get rich. But I'm trying to bring a product to market. Thank you for watching this, guys. Please leave any questions or comments below. And if you get a chance, please come to my gathering. I will be having a video posting right after this where I'm talking about my gathering coming up in September. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.